with you guys. I just know that all the Edge staff has been praying for you, and as they've been praying for you, asking us to pray. And so even though we might not get to know each of you personally, we are praying for you and just love you guys and are excited that you're here. And while I'm sad that Mama Robin can't be here, it's just an honor to step in her place. It takes 2 women and a little baby that's in Hannah's tummy to replace her. So, yeah, I know. You'll see her tummy. It's not hidden. Okay, so this is what I want to do. Did anyone, before we get into Hebrew, did anyone have a chance to get into the Word this morning? I saw a ton of you at the coffee shop at like 7 a.m., and I was so stoked. So I need 3 people, and I need it to take under 4 minutes to just tell me, not an explanation, just the verse, one single verse or 2 from what you read this morning. So I need 3 people. Come on. If we, as the body of Christ, cannot share verses with each other, then we should all go home. So I need 3 people. 1 verse that you read this morning. I got 4 minutes. I need you to hustle right here. I need you to holler really loud so everyone can hear you. And all of you else, I need you to think. Job chapter 1. He feared God and shunned evil. Very good. What was your name? Gabby. Thank you. Okay, I need 2 more. Let's go. All the way over there in the corner. I need you to holler really loud so that the other side could hear you. Very good, thank you. And I need a boy, please. All right, let's hear it.
Philippians 4:1. Therefore, my brothers whom I love and long for, my joy and crown, stand firm thus in the Lord, my beloved.
Very good. So we're casting off evil, we're putting on good, we're pressing forward, and we're, what was that yours? One more time.
I was telling the brothers to stand firm.
And standing firm. Thank you. Okay, let's pray, and then we're going to sing. Okay, Lord, thank you for this day. Thank you that you've brought 120 students to spend 5 weeks to get to know one another, to press into you and who you are, and to be conformed into your image. I pray that you would do just that, Lord, that we would be open to the working of your Holy Spirit and led and guided by you, and that we would walk in obedience in these 5 weeks and for the rest of our days. Help us to learn Hebrew today. We just praise you for who you are and look forward to what you're going to do. In your name, amen. So we are going to sing, and I hope you're all very excited. But I know that I do not sing well if I am sitting down, so I would love for you all to stand. And this is the thing. Okay, I need you to stand, but I need you to not be rowdy. So I need you to sing from your gut. I need you to sing loud and pronunciate, but I need you to not be too silly, or else I'll have to make you sit, and that'll be embarrassing. You guys on the sides are going to have a really hard time seeing, so hopefully you'll either remember or you need to scooch in the back. But again, please don't be rowdy. Just be loud and proud. Can we see? Oh, no, Ben. Where'd it go?
Right there.
Yeah, but not on my screen.
While we're here in Hebrew school, we're going to have some fun and sing the Hebrew alphabet.
Are we ready?
A song for everyone. It's going to be quite simple, 'cause all you'll have to do is sing the letters after me. Then I'll sing after you. Aleph, Bet, Vet. Aleph, Bet, Vet. Gimel, Dalet, Hey. Gimel, Dalet, Hey. Vav, Zayin, Chet, Tet. Vav, Zayin, Chet, Tet. Yud, Kaf, Chaf.
Okay, guys, take a seat. That was amazing. Okay, all right. We just have a little bit of time together, so we're going to try and make good use of it. So Hannah's going to come up, and she is going to share with you just a bit. I was thinking this morning how it's kind of funny to do beginners Hebrew or Hebrew basics or whatever you want to call it, because it's kind of like beginner's brain surgery. It's like I could tell you, like, oh, you have a brain, and it has 2 parts to it, and it controls everything you do. But to, like, give you a beginner's course is kind of silly. But it would be helpful to let you know how you think and maybe what a brain surgeon would do. So if you feel a little overwhelmed by Hebrew, you're supposed to. You're not supposed to learn Hebrew in 5 weeks of like one, or I think you guys are doing 2 weeks. But anyways, so don't feel overwhelmed. Just see it for how it can benefit you and what you can get out of it. But know that we're with you in feeling like it's a crazy language to try and learn. So welcome Hannah and her little baby in her belly.
Hello, everyone. Yes, my name is Hannah. And don't worry, I'm not 16 and pregnant. We just went to a purity conference, right? I'm 22 and I'm married, and my husband works here, and I work for the Bible College. I help do like recruiting and like with any different like Calvary schools around. I help do that stuff. So anyways, before we start, if on the count of 3 you guys want to shout me out your names, that way I'm not like nervous, like I don't know anybody. So on the count of 3, just tell me your name. 1, 2, 3. Okay, cool, great. So now we're acquainted and we'll be doing this thing together. It'll be great. And so just to start off, like Alexis said, Hebrew may seem challenging, and let me just tell you that when it was my first semester, I thought like, yeah, right, I'm not going to learn Hebrew. That ain't going to happen. That thing is hard. What? Can we put it like here? Yeah. But have you guys seen Robin? She's a pretty awesome teacher. She makes it really easy and enjoyable, and so I loved Hebrew after that, and I still am learning it. So don't worry if you haven't gotten it all yet. It's okay. So this is great. I have a little cheat sheet thing here. So, okay, get this page out, the one that's the half sheet. You're going to need this to follow along. Yes, the half sheet. And we're going to be doing Hebrew vowels. And so, yeah, don't worry. Let's all get comfortable with this. I'm good. Thank you. So, just so you guys know, ancient Hebrew, way back then, they didn't have vowels. Because you know us, we have A, E, I, O, U. They didn't have that back then. It was just the consonants, just the yod, just the aleph, just the bet. So how would you know how to pronounce these things? Well, back then they knew because they used songs and stuff. But if you look at the second line, sorry if you guys can't see in the corner, you can scoot in closer if you want. What would that say in the second line? Just tell me. There's like no vowels in there, but she totally knew what it was. Same thing back then. The people back then just saw the words and they knew what it was. But see, the problem is people will pronounce things wrong, okay? They'd say, instead of love, they'd say like lead or something like that, like something stupid, right? And so what happened was the scribes, called the Masoretes, they're like, okay, people are saying weird things now. We got to change things up. We have to add vowels. That way everybody's on the same page and pronounces everything right. So that's what they did. They added vowels. So here at the top, there's no vowels. At the bottom, there is vowels. Now don't worry, just hang tight. Don't worry about reading them just yet. If you can read it, that's awesome. Oh, I thought you said you could. All right, so I'm going to teach you guys how to read the vowel markings, and then by the end of this, we'll be able to read that word on the bottom. So hang tight. We're going to do this together. All right. So in Hebrew, there's different vowel marks that make the same sort of sound. So they have the A, they have the E, they have the U. So they have special names too. Here's the thing, it sounds hard because we just have A, E, I, O, U. They're not called anything else, you know. But some of these Hebrew words, they sound challenging, and you think, yeah, right, I'm not going to memorize that word. That ain't going to happen. But when you memorize the name of the vowel, it'll help you with the sound, and I'm going to show you how. So don't worry. Everything's going to be okay. We're going to do it together. If you guys memorize all the factions from Divergent, you can do this. If you know all the names of the planets from Star Wars, you're going to be okay. And if you love the Hunger Games and you remember this girl's name, then you're going to be all right too. All right, so you guys ready? Okay, let's do this. Now, here's the thing. Sometimes to memorize Hebrew words, I would create stuff that, sounds kind of similar, just so that I can memorize it better. So if it sounds funny and you want to laugh, it's okay. I won't cry. I won't, run away or anything because I'm pregnant or anything. It's okay. There's funny stuff in here, so don't feel bad. If you laugh at me later on when we're not in class, then I might get sad. But anyways, all right, let's go. So if you want to write these down, I recommend it because it'll help you not cheat, but it'll make it easier learning it in the future. So, you guys ready to start with the A's? Here we go. And if you need a pen, borrow one from the person next to you. Let's do this. All right, so A. So there's A or A. That's the two sounds we're going to use. So I'm going to write them down, too, with what they match with. You have your little cheat sheet, so you can just follow along with me. We're starting at the top. And this X, it just stands for a Hebrew consonant. It could be aleph, it could be bet. All the vowels are always going to be, below it, next to it, or above it. So just follow along, and then we can do this together. So here's our bet. All right, the first one is called quamets. Go ahead and say it. Quamets. Quamets. And then the sound for it is A as in yacht, so ah, ah. And then quamets, you hear the A in quamets, when you pronounce it, it's the same sound, so ah, quamets. And so the way you remember it is, you see what it looks like? The quamets looks like a little T, right? Looks like just a little T right under the bet. So the way I remember it is, sometimes when little kids are getting rowdy, you got to give them a timeout so that they're quiet. Quamets and quiet. Quamets. So go ahead and do this. Quamets. Quamets. Next one. Good job. Good job, by the way. Next one is same sound. A as in yacht, so ah. And the word is patak. Go ahead and say that. Patak. So the way I think of it, it's like a ninja, because ninjas, when they go to smack you, they go like, patak. And it's just a line straight across, so patak. So go ahead and do that. Go patak. Yeah, and you can go patak or whatever. All right, the next one, it's A as in they. So go ahead and say A. A. And then the word is sere. Sere. So the way you think of it is, if you look on your paper, it's really hard to find. It's a little bit down there. But go ahead. It's right here on your half page. So if you're looking for it, that's where it's at. And so what it looks like is that one just looks like little dots. But how many little dots is it? 2, right? And they're just right next to each other, right? So sometimes you're walking around and then you see your friend and you go, hey, right? So you just think the 2 dots right there, 2 dots they're right there. And then it's just a double point. You can go like, tsere or hey, so you remember the sound. Now sometimes these vowels have a little buddy that try to track along with it. And it's just called tsere yod. And so what it is you guys know what the yod looks like in the alphabet? Yeah, I hope so. It's really easy, so don't worry. All it is right here, that little yod. But it's the same sound, so don't worry about it. So when you see this, you can go, oh, A, that's A. So together this would be bay. So, bay, yeah. So that's how you do it. You just add them together. So that one's A. All right, next up, we got our E's. So this first one is as in them. All right, now, first of all, you guys got to raise your hand if you guys know what a Sega is. If you know what Sega is. Sega. All right, now, if you guys don't have your hands down, it's okay. You guys are just really young, and it's all right. So back then, before PlayStations and Xboxes, we had Segas. And Segas had these little buttons next to them, right? Like the little, like, you know, the A and B. You're like, pop, pop, pop. Back then, they probably only had colors, too. So this right here, I'm going to show you what a Segol looks like. I remember it because it looks like the Sega controller buttons. Segol, right? So it's really easy. What does it look like? Do you guys find it on the page? It's just what? Not 2 dots. 3 dots. Yeah, and they're shaped like a triangle, like a video game buttons, you know? So that's Segol. And then same thing like before. Sometimes Segol likes to have a little yod with it, so it's not alone. And same thing, same sound. So the sound for Segol is as in them. So Go ahead and say Segol, All right, next one. It's pretty easy. It's called the hireg. And then hireg, so it's going to have the E sound as in green. So hireg, go ahead, try it. Hireg. And then E. So the way I remember this one is, you know, when you see somebody and then and it happens here because you guys are living and you see each other every day. Sometimes you just see somebody and you go, man, that guy looks wrecked. He wrecked. He wrecked. Hireg, right? And then you remember the sound, he, right? Now to remember what it looks like, normally when you're like telling your friend like somebody's like, hey, he wrecked right there. You have just 1 dot, right? Oops, this pen died. It's just 1 dot. So it's like pointing at the guy going, he wrecked. He wrecked. So same thing. Go ahead and say it and then give a point to somebody, but don't say you're wrecked. Just say hireg. Hireg. That's the way to remember it. And you add a yod, same thing like before. Sometimes hireg likes to have a yod next to it, but it's the same sound, so there's no need to worry. All right, guys, we're almost done. Can you believe this? We're almost done. So next one, it's O, right? O as in yellow. And it was all yellow, if you know that song. So this vowel is called a holim or holem. It could be either one. The way, also too, this is what it looks like. Let me show you. And this vowel goes like right above on the top part of the consonant, right? So right on the head, right? And it's up there high, so the way you remember it is the holum is up high. So the way I remember it is, I use cholum. It's totally not how you pronounce it, but I remember it as, I cholum to get down. Oh, yellow, so, yeah, I cholum to get down, so that's how I remember it. So, yep. So holum, go ahead and say that, guys, holum. And what's the sound? Yeah, as in yellow, perfect. And the same thing, this is the tricky part though. Sometimes you'll look at this word and you won't see the hole in there. You'll be like, what the heck happened? Like, I don't know what vowel this thing is. And you'll see a vav next to it, right? Now, it's okay if you're like, what vowel is this again? Because you'll see a little circle. Oh, wait, wrong spot. Right above that. And it's the same sound. O as in yellow, it just looks like this. So whether it's just a dot or whether it's the dot with the vav, it's the same sound, O as in yellow. So, all right, next one. We only got 2 more left. So U as in blue or oo as in you. So that's the sound. And so who can pronounce that word that's in the middle bullet point, the first word? Not butts. Kibbutz. And you think of it because it looks like boot tracks. So there's kibbutz, and it's just the three dots all diagonal. Kibbutz. So go ahead and say that. Kibbutz. And what's the sound that it makes? Ooh, ooh. All right. So the next one, this one, it was tricky. It was basically like the last one that I had, and it was really hard to find something for. But it's called Shireg. Shireg. Sounds like Shrek. You're right. Sounds like Shrek. But it's Shireg. So, let's see. Let me see. So if you see it, let me find it real quick. It's to the end right here. Do you guys see it? Right at the bottom of the half sheet. And so what it looks like is it just looks like a vav with a dot in the middle. And that's a shirek. And so that makes the sound what? Ooh, ooh, exactly, as in zoo, so same thing. So you just think of it, it looks kind of like, in a way it could be like a girl standing there, and then the dot could be like her hand. She's like, I'm Shirek. So that's how I think of it. She's like, I'm Shrek. And then you're like, ooh, you could run away or you could stay, whatever you want, but that's Shireg. So, yep. She might look wrecked, so just to warn you. All right, next one. This is the last one. This one's really tricky to say. The people that are Jewish, they say shva. They say it really fast, so it's, yeah, like that, shva. And it has two sounds. It can either, here, this is what it looks like, sorry. It's just the dot on top. It looks like a colon, a semicolon. But yeah, so what it is, it's either a silent sound and you don't pronounce it and you go to the next word. I'll show you for an example at the end. Or it's a short E sound, like a real quick E. And so the way you can remember that one, it's like defending yourself with two hands. Like when somebody comes to attack you, you know, if you freak out, you go like, shah! You know, like that. So that's how you can remember it. All right, so you guys ready to try reading stuff now? If you're not, it's okay, because that's what the cheat sheet is for. So just go back. If you get confused or you forget, there's no problem. All right, we're going to try our first word. You guys ready?
Words are fun.
All right, here we go. You can use your Aleph Bet, and you can use the cheat sheet. And you could work with a person next to you. Try writing it down first, and then we'll have like a couple seconds, and then I'll ask you what the word is. So just take your time, go ahead and write it out, fill it out. You guys can do it.
Hey guys, remember too that you're reading from left to right, but you're
Oh my God.
Sorry, I should have mentioned that. Yeah, it goes right to left.
Wow.
Yeah, right to left.
to left.
So you start at that side, go that way.
But you're also reading, I need your attention real quick, but you're also reading up and down like this. So this, you're going like this.
I'll show you guys.
You're going to look for these big ones on your Aleph Bet, and then the ones that are either below or on top are going to be on the opposite side, which are your vowels that Hannah just went over. So you're pairing the big sound with the sound underneath.
So if you're confused, look at the board. The stuff I have in green is going to be from the Aleph Bet. The stuff I'm going to have in blue is going to be the vowels. And then I'll have an arrow showing you where to go, how to read it.
And then right to left. Thanks, Alexis.
I got real Shiva. Well, how would you say this? You said, how
So there's this one. This is a short E, or you just keep going. It could be like year. You just go to the next one, year, and then this one's oo. So yeru, and then you can keep going from there. Those next ones aren't too bad. All right, so you guys ready? You almost got it? Okay. You guys are doing it. I hear it. It's so close. Yeah, you guys are almost there. Once you reach the end, you'll be like, I did it. I'm going to buy myself a coffee later on. I'm not going to buy you coffee. Sorry, I'm not that rich.
Remember, like Hannah said, just like with English, if you want to start with the consonants and at least get those sounds, and then the vowel sounds will just fill it in. So if you're having a hard time, start just with the aleph, that part, and then Hannah will fill in the vowel sounds that'll help you complete the word.
Yep. Got it. All right, so if you're finished, put your hand up. If you're still working, it's okay. Keep working. So, guys, huh? It's okay. You guys got this. I'll put it into blocks too, so you guys can try the word with the sound.
Is it up? Just going up, right? Like that?
It'll be like this. So this first, that next, that next, that next, and then that's finished. These pens stink. That's all I gotta say.
Maybe I didn't get it.
That's okay. Watch.
What about the E sound on the bottom?
I know, that's actually a mem, but it's in
All right, you guys ready? So if you're still working on it, it's okay. I'm gonna help you guys right now. You guys ready for this? Now look up here to the blocks. I have everything sectioned off, so we'll just start with the first section right here. So right here, who got this one? Shout it out for just these two. Yod and then the shva, right? So what sound does the yod make? Yeah. Y. And then the shva makes what sound? A quick E. So, yeah. Yes. Who said that? Yes, that's right. Yeah. What about this one right here? What's this first one? Resh. Resh makes what sound? R. What about the vowel? What vowel sound is that? Ooh. So we have ru, right? So what's the first one? Yeah, and then ru. So the next one is this a shin or a sin? Because why? Sin is never right. So what sound does it make? Shh. And then the vowel makes what sound? Ah. So what sound together? Sha. So we have yeah, ru, sha. And then what about this next one? It's the L or R sound. And then the vowel is ah. So together it's la. Wait, you guys are going so close, so good. Just hang tight. Last one is a what? It's a yod. And the yod makes what sound? Yeah, I can't hear you guys on the side. Yeah. Who's on Facebook? Who's on Instagram? So, and then this little vowel, the dot, what sound does that make? E. And then this last one, if you're trying to figure out, you're like, where did that last letter come from? It's the final form of the M. So whenever the M's at the end, sometimes they look different. So together, these last three are what? Yim. It's Yim. So all together, the word is what? Yerushalayim. So what word is that? What do you think? Jerusalem. It's Jerusalem. All right, so everybody clap for you guys. That was hard. That was hard. You guys did it, though. You guys did it. And it's okay. It doesn't come... All right, real quick, guys. If you didn't get it, don't put your head down and just be like, man, I'm a sad sap. I stink. That's not true. it takes time and it takes practice. And you know what? You might get a headache and you might be like, forget it. I'm just going to like forget this Hebrew stuff and put it to the side. Don't, because did you know that when when God would speak to Abraham, would he speak in English? Yes? No, he didn't. He spoke in Hebrew. And so your homework, it's going to help you read parts of the Bible. And so what you're going to do is you're not going to be reading the Bible in like English, because English Bibles didn't come until way long ago. But it's ancient Hebrew, and we can go back and be like, hey, this is pretty cool. I'm reading the Bible, how it was said back then, and this is probably how God told Abraham. And it's just so cool when you think of it that way. And then if you have a biblical name too, you can even see what your name looks like in its original form. And so I got a Hebrew Bible in the back if you want to look it up after class. So, yeah, don't give up. Just keep going. It's really fun. It is hard at first, but you know what? It's just like anything else. You know, you just got to give it time and practice, and it'll all come together. So that's all I got, guys, for right now. Give yourself a clap. Good job. Do you want your phone back on?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, now we're going to do some vocab, and then we'll be done. So we'll probably do maybe 15 minutes, so it should be short. Seriously, you guys did so good. You just read a word in Hebrew from just knowing letters and vowels. That's really awesome. Whoa. Does anyone feel excited, or are we just over it?
I'm excited.
You better not say you're over it. That'd be a bummer. Is this a trick question? What else do you guys have going on today? Lunch. Spiritual gifts. Wow. All right. Dinner. That's good.
That says alphabet.
Not quite.
That says vocabulary.
Okay, can you guys see it all over there? No? Okay, if you guys are over there, you cannot see, and this will not be helpful, so I need you to relocate. I know it's kind of tricky. So if you have an empty seat beside you, please raise your hand. All you need for this is going to be that little half sheet in your alphabet. We need to do this quick, so if you cannot see the screen, I need you to get up and find a new seat or stand in the back. It's a good exercise, and you got to hustle. The faster you move, the faster I get you out of here. I'm going to go stand over there, and if I can't see the screen, I'm going to move you. So move yourself so I don't have to do it. Hustle, hustle, hustle. You guys are terrible hustlers. If you have an empty seat next to you. You guys in that back row, are you telling me you can see? You can see the screen? You can see the screen? In the glasses, can you see the screen? All right. In the blue hat with the red, talking to your neighbor. Can you see the screen? Yeah? All right. Okay. This is what we're going to do, and I'm going to get you guys out of here a little early. Okay. So, part of learning a new language is having so many unknowns before you actually grasp what you're looking at and how you're learning, but just associating sounds with a visual. So that's kind of what we're going to work on today. You're not going to be able to look at this and just read it without probably 5 or 6 or 10 minutes of comparing your aleph bet and your vowels. So we don't really have time to do that. So what we're going to do is look at it, we're going to hear it, and then we're going to flip it, and we're going to see it. These guys are a little bit ahead, but that's really cool. Okay, so you guys sound good? So if you do not participate, I'm going to have to yell at you and be that first grade teacher who's like, can I hear it again? And I don't want to have to do that. So if you guys could just say it the first time, that would be really helpful. You guys are only here for 5 weeks, so take advantage of it. And 4.5. You don't even get 5 full weeks.
4 to 5 days.
So seriously, Engage while you're here. Don't be the stereotypical, can't focus high schoolers. Just engage and let's see what the Lord wants to do. Okay, so let's hear it, and then we're going to repeat it, and then we're going to flip it. Ready?
Abraham,
Okay, let's hear it twice, and then we'll say it, and then we'll flip it. Okay, so now you know kind of how quick it goes. Ready?
Abraham,
Abraham. Okay, very good. Does anyone have a guess? In the back? Abraham, very good. So sometimes words that we know from Hebrew are going to sound similar to how we've translated them in English. That sometimes happens and sometimes does not. So, yeah, just be excited when it does. Okay, ready?
Ish,
Yeesh. 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 Very good. All right, let's see it. That means man or person. So what was the word that you, in the front, what do you associate that with? Yishmael. So that's really interesting because Yish, man or person, is in his name, Yishmael. And he's a guy, so that's not a coincidence. So you're going to find things like that too, where there's going to be, the really cool thing about Hebrew is that it's a picture language. I know that Robin probably talked about that a little bit. So their language connects to pictures to form a word, if that makes sense. So yeah, similar to hieroglyphics. So you're going to see where some basic words that you know are going to form to make more complex words, but you'll learn that a little bit later. All right, here we go.
Bait,
Oh, that one was weird.
Bait,
Bait. So that's the B sound that it starts with, so bait. Ready? House. Okay, that's kind of tricky. All right, let's go on to the next one.
Ben,
Ben. Like the guy's name Ben, that's what this word is. But it just sounds a little more Hebrew. All right, let's try and hear it again.
Ben,
Ben. And this one is easier to remember because if you associate it with the man's name Ben, and you know that Ben is a son, you can maybe remember it better. All right, let's keep going.
Davar,
Davar. Let's hear it again.
Davar,
Davar. I hear some people saying daughter, and that is a good guess, but not quite right. It's actually going to be word or thing. Word or thing. So that's going to be the word that's used to describe the word of God, davar. All right, let's keep going.
David, David,
David. So in Hebrew, they don't say David because they're not English. They say David, and that's all based on their vowels. So yes, you guys are correct. It is David. All right, let's keep going.
Who,
Who?
Who,
Like an owl. Who?
Who,
Okay. Here's okay, what Hannah showed you today with the vowels, those associations that help you remember. I cannot tell you how helpful those things are in having any sense of memorizing the information that we're trying to give you. So if someone gives you those little associations, write them down and remember them. So this one that I'm about to tell you is, it's a little phrase that says, who is he and he is she. So the word who means he, so like a guy, he. And then he, like we would say guy, means she. Does that make sense? Who is he and he is she. Can everyone say that? Okay, I think you got it wrong. Who is he and he is she? Okay, so this one says who. So what's that one going to mean? He. Very good. Very good. So then when we hear the word he in Hebrew, that one's going to mean she. It's very confusing. All right. Okay, this is a root pattern. It's kind of confusing, but this one has no vowels on it, so it's not actually going to say anything until it's connected to to form a word. So this one's just going to read out the letters to you. What? It's not a contraction. Those little diamonds in between are just to say, like, these letters are separated.
Like V N, is that V N R?
Let's listen.
The root Zayin, Chaf, Resh.
So that's the root Zayin, Kaf, Resh. So let's flip this. So that's the root for remember. It's confusing. Don't worry about it. Zayin, Kaf, Resh. When you put it with other vowels, it's going to form like different words that are associated with the word remember. It's pretty cool. All right, let's keep going. This is another one.
The root Mem, Lamed, Chaf, Sofit.
Okay, very good. Who just said that? What's your name? Kevin, nice to meet you. Okay, this one is...
The root Mem, Lamed, Chaf, Sofit.
Okay, so the root is Mem, Lamed, Kaf, Sofit, and we know that those letters, the M says M, the Lamed says L, and the Kaf, Sofit does that like sound. So if we didn't have vowels, but we just tried to put them together, we would get something like Mulch, right? Which is kind of confusing, but like my friend Kevin said, this one means to rule or to reign. But what's really cool is that our next word, see this has that Mem, Lamed, Kaf, Sofit, but then it has vowels that are connected with it, and then this is going to form a word. So let's listen.
Melech,
Melech. Okay, let's listen again.
Melech.
Very good. And then this word is going to mean king. So do you understand? Exactly. So the king rules and reigns, right? That's part of his title. That's who he is. So his title has that root in it. It's pretty cool. So that's a way that Hebrew does that we don't work that way. But it's very helpful. And Hannah has something to show you about this.
We do it in English.
Oh.
Yeah. So you know the word ear? It's one word, right? You add an H, and it's what? Ear. You add a D, and it's what? Er. So it's like that. You have the root, just the three, and then Hebrew, depending on what vowels you add, it can change the word. So
I was wrong.
We do it in English too, so yeah, that's all.
Woo! That was great. Okay, so remember, we're looking at king, but king carries the connotation of ruling or reigning. So as those three roots are changed, they're always going to hold the same connotation, but in a different way. All right, let's keep going and a little quicker.
Na'ar,
Na'ar. Can you guys say that all? Na'ar.
Na'ar.
That one's young man. It kind of sounds like a girl, so it's confusing, but Na'ar, young man. Let's keep going.
The root Ayin, Mem, Dalet.
Ayin, Mem, Dalet. Can you all say
The
it?
root Ayin, Mem, Dalet.
Are we not so confident? Okay, let's see. So stand. So then as this word is conjugated, you are going to find different variations of the word stand.
Shin, Mem, Ayin.
Shin, Mem, Ayin. Can you guys say that? Not all together, just as the letters.
Shin, Mem, Ayin.
Very good. All right. So that one is, again, the root for hear or listen. So just like in English, how Hannah changed that word, you're going to see this word add vowels onto it and change to have different meanings. Let's see where we're at here. We got a lot more to go. We're just going to do 3 more, okay? And this is not one of them.
Av,
Okay, that one's hard to hear because it's really quick. So it's Av.
Av,
Av. Wow, you guys are so good. Av. How'd you know that? You looked at me. Okay, good. That's awesome. Okay.
L,
L. L.
L,
Okay, this is tricky. Ask Robin about that tomorrow. She'll explain the difference to you, okay? So L also means 2, okay? I know it's confusing.
L,
All right. This will be our last one, and then Hannah's going to just quickly explain the homework, and we're going to get you out of here. Ready? There's homework, I know.
Isha.
Isha. Okay, on 3, I need everyone to say it. Isha. 1, 2, 3. Isha. See, that's what I was supposed to be hearing the whole time. Does anyone have a guess? Woman or wife? Okay, very good. Okay, so thank you guys. We did not get through all of our vocab today, but you have it all in front of you. Also, I was supposed to go over this with you, but we ran out of time. In the center column, it shows you the gender of words. In English, this doesn't really matter to us. We don't take very much notice of gender of words. But in Hebrew, and if you've ever studied Spanish, like in high school, you know that it is much more important. So take note of those and consider why that might be or how you can figure it out. And then Hannah's just going to come up really quick and go over the crossword puzzle. So you need to get that out right now. There's nowhere to put your name on it, so I recommend you do that now so you don't turn it in without a name. And then we will see you soon. And we would love... no, just in English would be better for us to recognize it.
All right, guys, quiet down. Here we go. If you have your crossword paper, keep it in front of you. Raise your hand if you don't have one, and then you'll need to see the TA afterwards, okay? So, you have to do the crossword, just the one in the middle. Now, it's a little tricky looking because at the bottom, you're like, okay, I don't know what word means what. You're like, hold on, I don't know what word means created. How am I going to know which one that is? You're going to have to use the very, very, very bottom of the page to help you point it out together. So, real quick. So, for those of you who have been going to church or whatever, you see that he kind of like dotted it. So, in the beginning is what word? Breshit. You're right. So, you see it at the bottom. And so, you can match it to what it is. And so, the third column, you kind of see it right here. It's Hebrew script. So when you go to Jerusalem and stuff, sometimes, just like how we have cursive, they have like the script version of it. Don't worry, you don't have to memorize that one. You don't have to write that one. What you do need is that column right there, the very first one, the one on the very right. That's just your regular alphabet, and you'll probably recognize some words there. So use that one. So all you do is match the words. If you get caught, this is what you do. So, how would you, let's see. We'll do an example. We'll do the word created. What word is that? If you hung out with Royce, you probably know. Bara, right? And so what you got to do is sound out with, at the very first column, you find bara. And so once you find bara, you connect it, and then that'll help you do the crossword in the middle. Now, if you get caught on words on the crossword part, just so you know, there's spaces in some of the words. So don't worry if you're like, this word is not fitting. It's like totally impossible. It's because there's a little space. Can I borrow your page? Let me see if they show. Okay, so let me show you guys, because you're going to be confused unless I help. So let's see. I messed this up in my homework. Robin had to show me. So, in one down, you see that? One down. On the 1, 2, 3, 4th box from the top, that's going to be left blank. So go ahead and cross that out so you know it's a blank space. So one down, it's the 4th box down. I have a little red dot on it. If not, I'll show you later on, but cross that out. That way you know it's a space, and it'll help you find a word. It'll totally help you. All right, now 4 across. Remember, they go right to left. 4 across. Cross out that 3rd box. 4 across. The 3rd box. Going from right to left, it's the 3rd box from the right. That one's going to be a space too. That way you're not confused later on. And so that's what you do for the homework. You find the word, you match it, and you get to write it down. We still have 15 minutes. Till 12, Aaron said.
So we write down like the Hebrew letters for it, right?
Yes, you write it down in Hebrew. You don't want to write down created in English. That ain't going to work. It ain't going to fit. Okay, cool. Now, guys, this is the good thing, though. Even though this is homework, we can work on it a little bit right now. So, here's what we're going to do is that you can get a buddy. You can work separately, whatever you prefer. If you want to see this blank spaces, if you're a little bit more confused, I can explain it a bit more to you. So just let me know. Any questions on the homework? Yes. Oh, she needs another paper. TA. Them too. So raise your hand if you need a paper for the crossword sheet. And don't forget to write your name on it.
So why don't you say, so class is supposed to end at 12, but what we're gonna do is for the next 7 minutes, you're gonna work on homework. So no one can leave for 7 minutes. So use this time to ask us questions, to work with your partner and get this done so you don't have to do it outside of class. And then at 11:50, you can be excused early. Got it?
We'll come up here and excuse you too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you have questions, raise your hand, we'll come help. Or if you just want to get to know us, but don't waste this time.
Yeah, don't waste it. It's valuable.
We have a little bit of